Hi, my name is Ray Medina. Today I'll be performing two views of the forearm. I'll start with my A to P forearm. First, I'll have my patient seated and shielded. I'll start with my A to P forearm. Use my right marker, lateral to the extremity. Right hand. The forearm will be supinated, elbow extended, or across the diagonal axis of the image receptor. The line through the humeral epicondyles is parallel to the image receptor plane. The source image distance will be 40. Central ray is directly perpendicular to the midpoint of the field. So it will be right here. Now we'll do the lateral forearm. Right marker underneath the extremity. Like this. Facing shoulder is positioned so that the humerus and the shoulder are parallel to the table with the forearm elbow flexed at 90 degrees. The source image distance will be 40. The central ray is directly perpendicular to the midpoint of the film space. Right here. So now I will be doing 4 views of the elbow. I'll start with my A to P elbow. Right marker, lateral to the elbow. Will be right here. I will supinate the hand and extend the elbow. The hand must be supinated to permit rotation from the radius and ulnar. The center the elbow joint to the center of the image receptor. Line through the humeral epicondyles is parallel to the plane. The source image distance will be 40. Central ray is directly perpendicular to the elbow joint. I will do the medial oblique, which will be internal rotation. Right here. I'll start with my arm extended, palm supinated, then pronate the hand, the center of the elbow joint to the center of the film. A line through the humeral epicondyles will form a 45-degree angle with the film plane. Source image distance will be 40, and the central ray is directly perpendicular to the center of the elbow joint through the center of the image receptor space. Now we do the lateral oblique elbow, also called external rotation. Right here. I'll start extending my elbow, center it to the center of the field. Externally rotate the hand so that the line through the humeral epicondyles form a 40 to 45 degrees angle. The source image distance will be 40. The central ray is directly perpendicular to the midpoint of the elbow joint through the center of the field. Now we'll do the lateral elbow. Right marker. The patient will be seated with the elbow flexed to 90 degrees. Shoulder is dropped to maintain the parallel relationship between the plane and the image receptor of the humerus and the forearm. The source image distance will be 40. Central ray is directly perpendicular to the midpoint of the elbow joint through the center of the image receptor space. Right here. So now we would be going to the special views, which will be done when the patient cannot extend the elbow. We're gonna start with the distal humerus. We'll need a sponge. It'll be done right here. Hold the marker right here. The humerus is parallel to the image receptor, centering the condyloid area of the humerus. It may be necessary to provide support for the patient's forearm, which is sponge, which I'm using right here. It'll be right here. Now we'll do the proximal, radius, and ulnar, which will be like this. The dorsal surface of the forearm on the image receptor centering the elbow joint. The source image distance will be 40. Central ray is directly perpendicular through the elbow. The last video presented was the Holly view using a sponge. Now we would be doing the Jones position or acute elbow position. The patient should be seated with the elbow flexed with the fist resting on the shoulder. It will be right here. Now we would be doing the coil view, which will be right here. The arm is at 90 degrees. Right here. The arm is at 90 degrees. Patient will be seated. The central ray is 45 degrees to the shoulder, and the radial head should be free to superimposition. So now we would be performing the A to P humerus. My patient would be upright. It will be done with a 14 by 17 cassette. My patient would have his humerus on external rotation, his arm on external rotation. The image receptor should be placed in either the Bucky cabinet or in the cassette holder. The upper border of the IR is 1.5 inch above the head of the humerus if the injury is proximal, 1.5 below the elbow if the injury is distal. The arm will be placed to be examined in the anatomical A to P position. A line through the humeral epicondyle should be parallel with the film plane. The central ray will be directly perpendicular to the shaft of the humerus through the center of the image receptor, and the SID will be 40. So if the patient has experienced trauma, I won't ask them to do the external rotation. So now we would be taking a shot of the lateral humerus. It would be, my patient would have a straight arm, and then it will be with internal rotation. I position my skeleton this way so you can know it's on internal rotation. The image receptor should be placed in the Bucky cabinet or hang on the cassette holder. The upper border of the film is 1.5 inches above the head of the humerus if the injury is proximal, and 1.5 inches below the elbow if the injury is distal. Internally rotate the arm and rest in the back of the hand on the leg. A line through the epicondyles will be perpendicular to the image receptor plane. The central ray will be directly perpendicular to the shaft of the humerus through the center of the film. It will be taken at a 40 source image distance. And for lateral and the A to P humerus, I will tell my patient to suspend the respiration. For all the forearm views, the elbow views, and the special views, there will be no instructions of respiration. And for all the views, I will have my patient, he will be gowned and shielded. So now for the A to P shoulder, baby arm, or abduction, would have a 90-90, so it will be right here. The patient R position is raised like an oath position. The central ray and angle will be the coracoid process. And also I would tell my patient to suspend respiration, will be gouded and shielded.